let's begin this RNG. You've probably seen me say this in a few places, but it's not perfectly stable yet. It often takes me a few tries to get a shiny. Other people have had the same experience, but many people do get it on the first try. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see that I've got pokemonrng.com/Gen2 starters pulled up, and on the right side, I've got my emulator. This works just as well with the physical console running PokeReader, so don't worry if you don't have an emulator set up. All you have to do to get started is download PokeReader from this guide, and then we can follow the steps below. First, save in front of the starter that you want in case you need to reset the game. Like I said, because this isn't perfectly stable yet, there are going to be a few times where you'll need to reset and try a few times. That's totally fine though. Next, choose the starter that you want to RNG, choose it and start accepting it, and then stop whenever you see player receive Pokemon text with the arrow flashing. I'm going to reset my emulator to show exactly what I'm talking about here. So if we go through, and I set up in front of Totodile here, I'm going to start accepting it. Elm's going to say, great, do you want Totodile? It's a great Pokemon. Zach received Totodile, and now that we see that flashing text, I can pause PokeReader with L and R. Let's see. Here it says, go into PokeReader's RNG screen, wait until it stops saying find ADIV index and SDIV index. You'll notice at the top of PokeReader right there, it's saying finding ADIV index. It's already found the SDIV. I'm going to let this run a little bit more until it finds the ADIV index. There it goes. Now I'm going to pause with L and R. Sometimes that can take quite a while, sometimes not so much. I believe it can take about up to 8,000 advances. So if you're doing this on console, you're not doing it on a sped up emulator and it takes a while, that's just par for the course for the moment. Hopefully we can improve that in the future. Next, we want to type the information in PokeReader into the tool below. Unlike other RNG tools, this one is actually built directly into the guide itself, which is pretty handy. So for my ADIV index, I have 1842. For my SDIV, 1129. My div value is 3B3B. My state is 1B30. And my advances are 3693. This advance count is basically just saying how many RNG advances it's going to try to find a shiny. Because normally it takes just a few tries to get a shiny, and shinies are pretty plentiful. I just have this set to 10,000. It's not adjustable at the moment, but let's click generate here. Looks like I only got 2, which is kind of curious. Normally there's a few more than that. No problem though. If we test out both and neither of them are shiny, we can just regenerate some more from there. So with that, at this point, we've clicked generate. Advance the game until you hit PokeReader's advance and it matches the generated one in one of the columns below. We're looking for 9,853. Currently around 5,000. I'm now at about 8,000. I'm going to pause in just a moment so I don't accidentally overshoot this. And I'm going to make a save state. If you are on retail and you can't make a save state, that's totally fine. But since I'm on emulator, I'm going to take advantage of that so that I can just reset to this point in the future if needed. I'm going to advance a little bit more up until here. I'm just going to go the rest of the way manually. 9,853. This is where I'm pressing L to advance one by one. All right, here we are. I'm going to make one more save state just in case this doesn't pan out. I can go on to the next one down here. And let's see what happens whenever I press A. And apparently I didn't hold A long enough. So it turns out with the Gen 2 games, you can actually press A and it won't register with the game. You have to hold A for just a little bit of time, about 2 advances. I'm going to restore, that's the right one, 9,853. The state is 8C2. Perfect. All right. I'm going to try that again. Let's press A and let's check to see. I did not get a shiny Pokemon. So close, though. So with shiny Pokemon, most of the DVs have to be 10. Attack has a few values that it can be. Ah, dang, that is really, really close. All right, I'm going to load my state back to where I was previously, that 9,853 advance. And I'm just going to try for that next one, 13,243. 13,000. All right, I'm going to make a save state here just to make sure that I'm not going to overdo this. Let's go 13,243. All right, I'm going to make a save state here. And let's try to get the Pokemon party. Still not shiny. No problem. I'll load the state back up. And this time we can type in the information in the RNG tool again, generate a few more. You can see this time several more results have come up. it is able to predict the state pretty well. It's just the Pokemon generation that needs a little bit of help. Let's try again. And hey, we got it this time. It has a 0 up front, so that kind of sucks, but we got the shiny. Very cool. All right. Well, that's how you do the RNG. It only takes a few minutes, and hopefully, as we refine this a little bit more and get this to a better spot, it'll take basically no time at all and can get it on the first try. So, this was super awesome. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to hop off here. See you all in the RNG Discord. Thanks for joining.